Well, um, I'm a Hoosier. I'm a reluctant Hoosier, which I think most people might be. Um, I, show of hands, did anyone dream about becoming a Hoosier? Or in this? Okay, see. Well, 10 years ago, or no, I'm going to start my story 10 years after I came back, and I had a 3-year-old, and we were married, and to my lovely wife, Nicole, and we took on the idea of embracing everything that Indiana has to offer. And so that means that we were going to be going to the fair, the county fair. We love fair. We love fair food. That's just something that we love to do. We like the corn dogs and the tenderloins and what's another one? Yeah, elephant ears. Yes, the elephant ears. So there we were. We were at the county fair. And normally we kind of stay around the food section. I'm a little scared of carnies, so we stay away from that. But there was a sound in the grandstands, and it was a sound of cars. And if anyone knows me, they know that I love cars. And my little 3-year-old at the time, Dexter, loves cars as well. And so we're hearing all this noise, and he's like, "Dad, we got to go check that out." And I'm like, "Well, okay." You know, normally, like I said, I stay in the areas that I'm safe with and that I'm used to. But we went ahead and went into the grandstands, and immediately I recognized that we're the only people that look like us. There's eyes all on us. And living in Indiana, that's something that, and being a real estate agent, that's something that I'm normally used to, but it's different when you have your 3-year-old and your family with you, and because this is supposed to be fun. It's not my job right now, but we're trying to train him to, at that age, hey, we do what we want to do. You go into places that you're not necessarily comfortable with because that's just life. So we hurry up and we scurry, and we go up into the grandstands. We find a seat, and this man is looking at us. He's glaring at us. He's got overalls on. He's got the hat. I think it was probably Red Man, I think, or it could have been John Deere. I'm being stereotypical, so I probably shouldn't do that. But he had his arms folded like this, and he didn't make his face didn't change. It was just this face, and he was just looking at us. And I'm mad. I'm like, okay. And my wife, she used to be a 0 to 3-year-old, teacher, and so she knows how to redirect, and she uses that on me a lot. It works most of the time. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna go talk. I need to go and handle this. And she's like, you need to just sit down and enjoy the doggone, tractor pull, because that's what we're there for. Just enjoy the tractor pull. And I'm like, but what was happening in my mind is, I grew up a mile or two from the Monroe County fairgrounds. And so all the feelings, all the things that happened to me as a child were kind of welling up inside of me as this adult. And some of the examples are, I had a teacher who, my first grade teacher, she told my parents that she had never had a black child and she didn't know how to teach a black child. Or the fact that I had to stay in the principal's office during recess so that the kids would no longer play KKK and chase me with belts. My dad was a police officer, one of the first black police officers in Bloomington, so my name was Little Black Piglet. So all these things are in my mind right now, like, and this man that's staring me down, he's gonna be the brunt of it. And I'm big now, and, I've got a business and, it's not gonna happen to my child anymore. And I'm gonna take care of this. And of course, my wife is still tugging at my pocket saying, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna go and talk to this man because I'm not having it. But what stopped me is at that moment, these two little African-American girls, one was probably no more than 6, the other one was 4, probably. They were sisters, and they're by themselves, and they're coming into the area, the grandstands, like they own the place. Here I am, a grown-ass man, and yet these little girls are acting like they own the place. They knew where they were going. And they're kind of looking in our direction, and I think they're like, they're saying, look, more people like me, and so they start to run up the grandstand. But then they run past us, and I hear the words, "Grandpa, Grandpa." And I turn around, and they're climbing into the lap of the man that I was judging, the man that I thought had such contempt for me and my family. And at that moment, he's got the biggest smile that I've ever seen. So, of course, I'm the asshole, right? We as a people, all of us, have got to learn to do better. We have got to learn to stop looking at people and judging them for the way that they look and learn to get to know the person. Some of my favorite people in this entire world are people that don't look like me, that don't share the same religion I do, and are not the same sexual orientation that I am. And my world would be a much more boring place if I didn't step out and look at others, try to figure out where other people are coming from, because I want them to do the same with me. So when meeting new people and going to new places, always start with love.